bless you, child of a supernatural God. There are two major principles that must be present for any marriage to work. In fact, for you as an individual, not to pose a danger to your fellow human being, these two principles must be activated inside of you. I am talking about every kind of relationship here. The relationships you have with your pastors, the pastors have with their members, your employees have with their employers, every kind of relationship, regardless of the kind of employee you have, even if it's your drivers, your gardeners, your nannies, and what have you, every kind of relationship, including your neighbors as well. In fact, the way marriages are troubled and crashing in recent times calls for a lot of concern, even between couples that are believed to be educated. Please, I want you to note that it's very important to discuss marriage with people that has the same faith with you, so that you can deeply discuss these issues and all areas of concern, and it will align properly. I am not talking about being born again, because born again is not a criteria really, because if you're a genuine born again, you will easily slide into these fundamentals and make your life effortless and the life of your partner as well. Okay, so make sure that you have someone that you have the same belief with. I hear a lot of people, when you ask them what kind of spouse do you want, what are the qualities of the spouse you want, they go, I want the person to be born again. I want the person to have the fear of God. Saying that it feels like you're saying you don't want to marry a dead man, or you don't want to marry an elephant as a spouse, or something. So born again is a fundamental criteria. It's something that comes with life, really, if you ask me. So it's something that is not negotiable, if I may use that word. So it's not something you ask for, because it's something that is expected to be. So your circle and the people you mingle with, when it has to graduate to the fact of talking about marriage, they have to be born again. So if they're not born again, what are they then? So that's the way I view it anyway. So now to the two major principles that must be activated inside of you for you to excel in your marriage or any kind of relationship. Number one, see the God in people. You have to first of all see and appreciate God's life and the creation inside of them, because you know that the same love God has for you is the same love He has for everybody, regardless of who they are, regardless of religion, regardless of tribe, color, race, and what have you. It's the same kind of love that the Spirit provides. So you must see the God and the handiwork of people. Just imagine yourself, imagine the creator of this whole universe, having created someone, brought that person to you to be in some kind of a relationship. You are looking at the image of God. You are looking at the life of God. You're looking at the Spirit of God in someone. So it's enough for you to appreciate God, appreciate the person, and appreciate the fact that you have a connection with that person. That is the way you should see people and see the God inside of them, before you even talk about the marriage part. Because trust me, in every kind of relationship, there is a time, especially at the later part, where you have to be intentional about where you have to be driving the love and driving everything that comes with it. Sometimes, because at the initial part, when the love is piping hot in marriage, you're being driven by that. But at the later part, you're going to be the one driving it. So that is the point where you are going to still appreciate the fact that this person is God with you. This person has the Spirit of God inside of them, and you have the privilege and the honor to be with someone whose God has created and given to you. So that is number one. Number two is walk in parallel. Let your focus be on the finish line. A lot of times your partners might be doing the wrong thing or might be imperfect. You love them with that. Walk as if you are on a relay race. I know that 1 + 1 in marriage is equal to 1. But when you are trying to actualize what will make you think in your marriage, you have to walk as if you are in a race, whereby, imagine in a relay race, every party is running. Your opponents are running. Their eyes is on the finish line. They are not looking at you, whether you're flipping, whether you're meeting up to the task, but you are just focusing. You have your focus on that. So that is the same way you have to focus on making sure that you meet up with your own part of the bargain. So you're not trying to look at your partner whether him or she is doing the right thing, you know. So when he has to do it in that race, you are running and you are inculcating every aspect that makes the relationship work. Both the communication part, the respect, the love, the trust, the attention, the understanding, the compromises, the emotional effort. Okay, the emotional effort and support, the commitment and the shared values and goals and everything that comes with marriage, you are making sure things are aligning on your own part. You're not looking at the flaws of your partner. Now I'm talking to two people. I am not talking to one person, because if it's one-sided, it's not going to work. But when the two of you agree on these two principles, then you're going to see the God in this person before you even get married to them. You appreciate them already. You appreciate the spirit in them already, which is the spirit of God. And also you are working in parallel. You're making sure that you're meeting up to your own part of the bargain. With these two things, you will never be found wanting. Your marriage will be excelling. Every other thing will fall into place because you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when one person is doing and another person is not, then it becomes a problem. That is where the problem comes out from. So I want to pray for you today that as you find a way to observe these two principles, that may God fortify you with the grace to pour out your best in your spouse. And I want to pray for you again for greater grace. That greater grace comes upon you to enable you align yourself with the purpose of God in your life here on earth. Child of God, remain grace-filled. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.